We're going live. We're going live. We're live.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
What's
Finger
going on?
City.
What is up, everybody? If you can hear us loud and clear, drop a dong or city in the chat. Not exactly sure if everything's going smoothly because running it a little bit differently this time. As you can see, I put a beautiful overlay on the chat here. We got a donger city. Yeah, if our audio levels are good or need some help, let us know. What's going on, everybody? Mr. Joe and Tbling here. We're doing a bit of an AMA. That means you can ask us anything you would like about the Dinger City World Series that we just played over this past week. I hope you guys all watched it already. If you didn't, go watch it now because you're going to be spoiled. We're going to spoil it right now in moments. We're moments away. Oh, look, Dinger City's in chat. That's us. So how you doing today, Tom?
Hey, I'm doing well, Joey.
Good. Happy to have you here. Yeah, so I don't really know what the procedure for this is. If you guys got questions, as you can see, you can ask us anything on that beautiful stream overlay that I've provided for you. Drop some questions in chat. We're going to talk about the World Series. You can talk about anything you want. Ask questions about specific moments in games. Ask about how we're feeling. Ask about what we had for lunch. I don't care. I'll answer pretty much anything you got for me. And don't forget that after this stream at 8 p.m., the Dinger City Triple Play Draft will be premiering. So you can check that out as well. You can hop into that stream. It'll redirect right from here if you're sticking around, or you can just go to the other stream. But yeah, so be sure to check that out because Dinger City Triple Play is coming up next. That's going to be your next piece of Dinger City content. But for now, we're just talking about the World Series. So this is the part where we spoil it. So if you have not watched it yet, this is your final warning to go watch the World Series. It's all on Dinger City. You can go check it out. But yeah, so World Series just concluded. I took it 4-1 over Tbling. Series was closer than the score indicates, but that is how it went. And thank you, JB, for the congratulations to both of us for making the World Series. It was quite a grind. It really was. I guess before we get into some questions, I see you guys are bringing them in. We can kind of go over the paths we took to get there. So first of all, for me, I started off. I played Nolan. I 2-0'd him. Nolan, being a lower seed, I was a higher seed. That's kind of how it goes. Put up a good fight, though. Next up, I had Crit Nick. That was a 3-0. First game was pretty close, and then I mercied him twice. So that's 5 games in a row, no losses. Then Dennis is up. That's another 3-0. First 2 games weren't that close. Third game was a nail-biter. Then we get to the World Series, which we will get to in a moment. But going into the World Series, I had been undefeated in this playoffs. I was playing out of my mind.
A sick run, Joey. I was pretty happy I could take that one win off you. I obviously 2-0'd Billy there and played a tough 5-game series against Tyler. I was down 2-1 and somehow managed to win the last 2 there. Managed to 3-0 Colin. Great series.
That was crazy.
And, great player. He's gonna have probably a great next season in the future with the club. And obviously in the World Series, neck and neck going into Game 4, and then very close series throughout. So
yeah, man. I mean, the World Series was great. We put on some good baseball. Really tight games. For the most part, you had that really sick comeback in that one game, and then you had that really unfortunate bobble that I'm sure we will be getting to in a little bit because that was kind of a big turning point for that series. But yeah, let's get into some questions here. PK Kirby Tom wants to know: did you quit your job to become a real milkman full time? But actual question: how do you feel about the nickname the Milkman?
Yeah, I really love it. I can't express my thanks enough to Dennis and the crew, the commentating crew. I think it was Jason and Dennis for coming up with that one, so highly appreciate it. I felt like my pitching was pretty on point, like throughout most of the series. Obviously gave up some key home runs to Hammer Bro, but I felt like my pitching to Berto was top notch, and I'm really proud of that. So I love the new nickname. Will keep my day job though, so
yeah, don't quit your day job. But yeah, no, I think it's a great nickname, man. It's really good. Not a lot of people have, not a lot of people have nicknames in Dinger City. You got the Big Kahuna, you got Colin the Big Kahuna, but really, it's like that's one of the first ones to kind of pop up, so it's pretty good. And I mean, it was well deserved. Birdo she wasn't terrible, but she didn't have a huge impact because you were pitching really well to her. And like you said, I mean, Bro was kind of the star of the show in a lot of those games. And that's that's what it comes down to sometimes, those heavies. And really, I feel like when it comes to like Bro and Petey, a lot of people are like, yeah, Petey's better. And I agree. Like, Petey he hits home runs more consistently. The ball gets out better, and he's a better catcher. He's got better chemistry. No, he's got good chemistry. Really good chemistry, better chemistry. I'll give it to him. But something about Bro, man, it's like, it's because he doesn't hit that inside pitch, Like, he doesn't pop up the inside pitch. He doesn't get that sour contact. So I feel like that's so strong. It gives you more chances.
Got that Toadsworth effect.
And he's got better reach, too.
Yeah. Yeah, his reach inside is probably larger than Petey's, although Petey's is surprisingly large, too, I feel like. But yeah, that's a great point about the smaller bat size, so.
Yeah, definitely. All right, all right, I'm going to give it to him. Just a Grump asks, do you think the lack of Wario pitcher usage contributed to your defeat, Tbling?
Yeah, so regarding my pitchers, game one I decided to go for the pitcher's gambit. I think I picked Dixie, Diddy. I don't know if I had Waluigi,
you
but
did,
I think,
yeah,
I had Boo as well, and it definitely didn't really work. I mean, I think Joey put up like 14 runs.
I did, yeah. It was Noki. My pitcher was Noki that game.
Yeah, I put up 6 against Noakes. So there you go. I mean, I don't. So where's this inside joke with Wario? Is that from like your team?
No, it's I'm surprised you're not aware. Just a Grump, very active Discord user. Just a Grump, very very big into Wario pitcher. Now it's pretty much a joke. It's a meme. It's a bit of a troll thing, but he loves saying it, and he loves saying it in our chat. And we told him we're gonna ban him if he keeps talking about it. And he has been timed out of chat for that question. But yeah. So yeah, no, but the pitchers definitely. You kind of employed that strategy a few times throughout the playoffs, and it kind of, I think you said it one time, it kind of worked 50-50 for you. Like, you got a couple, you lost a couple. Obviously, in the game we played, I was able to kind of get the job done with Noki, and my offense was just, it was just on. And I think kind of the risk you're taking with that is you're giving them a better offensive team by trying to bolster your defense, or not really bolster your defense, but to detract from their defense and, get a worse pitcher for them. So while their pitching's going to be a little worse, I don't think that it's worth giving up as many strong pieces to the offense that you get out of, the 5th best pitcher, which is it's Noki. So I don't know if that's worth it. And I think we kind of saw it go both ways. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who knows? Would you do it again or no?
Definitely not at a high level tournament game. But, if I was playing like a newer net player, and if I wanted to like get in their head, and if they're probably not going to have experience pitching with Noki or like a, worse character, right? So it might throw them off. But, against, a former world champion like Joey, I can't get away with that. I think your ability to hit is going to be there regardless against who you're hitting against.
Yeah.
And, pitching is like, obviously you have to have enough curve on your pitches, but like, your sequencing, your types of pitches you're throwing, that's all like going to be consistent with whoever you're going to use. So
yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of like, yes, you are helping your offense because they have a worse pitcher, but you take the risk of, like, if you can't absolutely shell that pitcher that they have, which is like, you scored 6 runs, you couldn't tire out Noki, and that's basically what you're relying on. If you can't do that, then because your offense is weak, because Diddy and Dixie, like, they're not great at the plate. Like, Dixie's okay, Diddy's all right, I guess. You do have Boo and Walu, they're strong, but you're giving up some key pieces while they're probably picking up some good late picks, They're going to get, like, Noki, PM, maybe Luigi, stuff like that. So you're getting, like, overall, you're going up against a better offense. So even though you have the better pitchers, it's, like you said, if you're getting hit, you're going to get hit no matter who you're putting out there.
Yep, 100%.
All right. What do we got next? What is my second favorite pasta? Not my favorite, but second favorite. that's a great question. My second favorite type of pasta, I'm gonna be honest. I'm totally blanking on the name. It's like the tube spiral ones. It starts with a C. Celatini or something like that. I don't know. That's my number 2. Tbling, why don't you tell us as well? What's your second favorite kind of pasta? Don't tell us your favorite. We don't want to know.
Let's see. Honestly, I think I have that same pasta that you just mentioned written down, Joey. I'm gonna look it up while I'm answering that. But I would probably say gnocchi, not gnocchi, but
there we go.
GNOCCI.
Gnocchi's so good. That's some fire pasta. Top 5 for me, guaranteed. Yeah, that's great. I think the one that I said is my favorite, like traditional noodle, like no extras. But there's number 1 there that you guys aren't gonna know, unfortunately.
Apparently, bucatini is spaghetti but has a hole through the middle. So is that what you were describing?
No, I was thinking of. It's called Celentani. Yeah, Celentani. That's what I'm talking about. Celentani. It's like a corkscrew, almost like a spiral, but not like the rotini spirals. Different kind of spiral.
Okay.
All right, we got a question from Big Dinger City itself. And this one's for you, buddy. Tbling, what was going through your mind when Bowser bobbled that ball in Game 4? You knew it was going to come up, so I'm sure you got something ready here.
Yeah, I watched that play probably like 5 times, and it was equally depressing every single time. And, geez, I don't know. I mean, I think in hindsight, like, I don't know why I thought I should pitch to Bro and just, like, not walk in there and face Petey, or face Birdo, rather.
Yeah. You were pitching really well to Birdo, too, pretty much the entire series. I only had 1 star, so it was a bit of it was a risky situation, though.
Yeah, listen, bobbles are part of the game, and, just like one small, it's obviously there's a lot of luck with Mario Baseball, right? So you just kind of have to shake it off and not let it affect you mentally.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely affected me mentally. I mean, how could it not, right? Game 4 of the World Series, bottom of the 9th. I think next time going forward, you just have to, like, not think about it and like think of each at bat independently of the the one previously, right? And obviously make adjustments as needed, but like you can't let it affect you, right? So that goes with any video game, any challenge in life, right? So
yeah, definitely. And I feel like I mean, obviously that's devastating. That bobble, the game was over. You had made another good comeback. I was bailed out. That game. Obviously, yeah, I still had to hit the home run. Like, it's not like I've said this in Discord, I'll say it again now. I don't feel great about that win. Look, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know what, you bobbled, but I'm still gonna give you the win. No, I'm gonna play the game out. I'm gonna take the win if it's given to me. I would have felt a lot worse if that was the game-ending play. If Bowser bobbled and that run that scored was the go-ahead winning run of the game, that would have felt really bad. But ultimately, there was another at-bat. I still had to produce, and I did. So, I mean, again, it still sucks. I'm blurry? I'm back. Okay. It still sucks, but at least there was, a little bit of, at least I still had to do it. But I will say, you kept your composure well, because we went into Game 5. It was a close one. It was 3-2. We were neck and neck basically the entire game. Luckily, no, for me at least, no 9th inning comeback that time around. I was able to hold on with that 3-2 lead, which was funny. I actually remember thinking this, and I think I said it at the end of Game 5. I felt more comfortable with that 3-2 lead in Game 5 than I did with the 5-2 lead in Game 2 that you came back on. I don't know why. It just felt... I don't know if it was the part of the lineup. I don't know if it was... I just felt like after that Game 4, I was more mentally in it. And also, again, you're down in the 9th inning. It's match point there. It's the final game. You have to make something happen. So I was kind of smelling blood in the water. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna throw things over the plate. I'm gonna try to get bad contact, and that's what happened. It's a tough spot to be in because I had a big cushion going into that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the confidence probably was that you put up 16 the game prior. You were feeling pretty comfortable, and that carries through. And in a series like that, back to back to back, that's really helpful. For example, I think part of the reason why my pitching was so strong, games 3 and 4, I just had that consistency throughout, like after, I guess after game one, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
See,
Someone already asked about the pitcher's gambit. Krasy asked, Joey, do you think that being in a relationship with Riley Scott 64 contributed to your success in the playoffs? Yeah, no, Riley's my boy. I think Riley really, he really drove me to win this series. Check out Riley Scott 64 on YouTube. He plays Mario Baseball. My absolute homie. You've probably seen us share. I keep unfocusing. You've probably seen us share some of his videos before. Riley's a homie. Check him out. Let's see, what do we got? Did anything in this series make you reconsider tier placings? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so I think back to my struggles with Toadette, and I know Joey, you went on record to say like you still think Toadette's solid. Toadette, I think, is solid. She can be solid, but like, it's tough, right? If you got like Birdo at second, you're trying to push with Toadette, like that doesn't leave you a lot of wiggle room to get the ball through. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you just walk more heavies, right? Like I think coming out of this one, game one, I pitched to Bowser and like I regretted it, and I know you can hit really well with DK, right?
Yeah, no, my DK is really good. It's been really solid lately.
Yeah, so maybe the answer is pitching more or walking more heavies and not really caring as much about wall jumping. But Toadette was the only one that I can really think of.
Yeah,
maybe going up on Waluigi. Like he made some sick plays at third for you.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah, that like historically, like Madge, I thought would only be able to make. And Waluigi's bat is so long, and it's pretty reliable. Yeah, those few come to mind. Any on you, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, not specifically this series. I mean, partially, but primarily just like just the playoffs overall. I think that I'm comfortable placing Boo at 8th. I think he drops to the bottom of like that top tier. I think that this might be a little crazy. This might be a hot take. I think it's potentially possible that Magikoopa is higher than Boo. I think it's possible you put Mag 8, Boo 9. I don't know for sure. I'm not positive. It's close, but I really like Magikoopa. I like Magikoopa slap hit, star hit. The defense is stellar, but Boo's Boo. So it might be a hot take, but I think Boo is at least at best. I think Boo is 8th. I think that there's just too much. I think there are better options that you can get earlier in the draft while still getting decent options late for pitching. I mean, I think Dick Skunk's a better pitcher, and Dick Skunk's bat's pretty solid. So I think that ultimately, like, maybe Boo isn't the move early in the draft. Obviously, Boo into King Boo's nice. Boo has a great slap hit, stuff like that. Really solid character, but I don't know if I don't know. I'm a little down on Boo. Down on Birdo. I think Birdo is 6 or 7. I think probably 7. Birdo Captain's solid. Obviously it's great, but I think that there are not better captain options, but I think like if you took Mario into Captain Mario, you're going to get similar value. It's not going to be as good, but it's not going to be bad. Plus you get him later in the draft. Stuff like that. So there are some placements like that. I think Dixie Kong's way up. I think she's the best pitcher by like a margin. Definitely comfortable saying that. And I think I'll put in DK back in the 2 spot. I think I had PD second for a while. I think I'm going back to DK. I like him a lot. I think he's so versatile. Best shortstop. Most consistent slap hit in the game. Home run potential. Great star hit. He's got it all. We've known for a long time. People were saying PD. I think I'm back on DK.
Hot takes, but love to see it.
Yeah, I got some hot takes. I also King Boo up a little bit, maybe like 6, right ahead of Birdo.
Yeah, I'm with you on KB too.
I love KB, man. He's so nice. Let's see, what do we got? PK Kirby, you were told by the fella over at Mr. Joe's baseball show not to pitch to Bowser. So what happened? do as I say, not as I do. That's what I say. Sometimes you got to take the risk. Look, we're playing in really tight games. Sometimes, you know, a free base. Obviously, look, a home run's a home run. You're giving up runs. The free base can be dangerous, and sometimes Bowser gets out. You know, he doesn't get on base every time, so it's a risk. Usually, it's a calculated risk. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I think we were both burned by it, though. So, I think you were definitely burned by it in, I think, game 1, right?
Yeah, game 1, I think I let up like at least 2 homers by it.
And then game 2, I think I was burned by it. So, I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah, even in game 4, I'm sorry, game 5 rather, I hit like a home run with Bowser, then hit another one with Petey, and then I couldn't score a third, right? So,
yeah, that's just how it goes. I mean, with the base open, I think it's pretty safe to pitch to Bowser most of the time, but not always. Not always. Yeah, the risk was calculated, but man, am I bad at math. True. All right, let's see. Tbling had an amazing run this season, but if you could have drafted one character that you didn't, who would you choose? Any point in the series. I guess you call it wherever you want.
Yeah, DK. Probably wish I would have prioritized a little bit more. I feel like you were really effective with him. It was like a lock, either hitting singles to the left or, you know, putting the ball over the... I don't know how many... Do you remember how many home runs you hit with DK? Like maybe a couple?
2? Probably 2.
Okay.
Feels
yeah,
feels safe.
Yeah, I feel like I probably should have took DK a little higher.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Definitely. Also something... There was someone that... I'm actually going to pull it up so we can reference this and talk about it a bit. There was someone that had... They had recorded the stats, the win rates, and I'm sure you saw this, for every character throughout the playoffs. Or throughout the whole playoffs, yeah. But throughout the World Series specifically. And what was interesting to me was that that Pink Menace, Red Pianta, had struggled throughout basically the entire playoffs. He was kind of on the back foot, and I think we're going to get kind of like the full breakdown. I think he said he's going to drop him eventually, of the stats overall for the playoffs. But Red Pianta was struggling really badly. 5-0 in the World Series. Every team he was on won. I mean, talk about a performance. It was Pianta 5-0 and Noki 4-1. So those two characters, they were on the winning team. So I think a little sneaky how good those characters performed in this series.
And is on the up.
Yeah.
Definitely rising up on that tier list. I mean, I've always been a big PM fan.
Yeah, me too.
I was just thinking to myself, like, another option would have been like picking Pink Menace more other than DK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that even without Noki, he can still get a lot of nice line drives to the right side. But like, you know, Noki puts him as a serious home run threat, I think. Yeah. So those borderline power or heavy characters like DK, PM, and Wario, like, you know, if you can turn those into like consistent threats, like that's gonna make you next level. So
yeah, absolutely. I think we saw somewhere in netplay Superstars, Flatbread, I forget who he was playing, but he hit like, I think it was Hell Zero. He hit like 3 home runs with PM in one game. It was really impressive. So I think that character is definitely, I think lefty PM's the move. Falcon Pop's cool and whatever, but get him lefty, hit some home runs, man up. We got this. We're putting the ball over the fence. All right, what do we got? If either of you could play any position in baseball, what would you play? I mean, if I could just like be really good at it, like I could be like a professional baseball player at any position, I'd be a shortstop. Seems like a ton of fun. I was a catcher when I did play baseball, which was a lot of fun as well. I really liked catching, but it seems bad on the knees. I'll play shortstop. That seems good.
Yeah, shortstop is tough. You got a big hole to cover behind third, and you got to have a strong arm, and you got to be athletic to turn double plays. I mean, I love the idea of playing shortstop, but I also love the idea of pitching at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a cannon, you know, throwing 90 consistently with a few pitches in my belt, that would be really fun.
Yeah, pitching is really cool, and again, like obviously, like we're not MLB players. we're never going to be that good, obviously. But if you could just magically put us into the MLB, I think that's fair. I think pitching's Also, you get to be the star of the show, you know? You get to be right there. Like, you're the guy. So, yeah, definitely.
Give me some sticky stuff and I'll be good to go.
Yeah, put me in, coach. Give me that spider tack. After another successful World Series run, do you feel confident to have the run back against Birdman after his killer Shy Guy homer? I will never play Birdman in a game of Mario Baseball again after that. I'm done. It's over. You're never catching me playing that guy again. Embarrassed. I was embarrassed on stream. My own stream. He came in there and he showed me up with a Shy Guy home run that really put me to shame. So no, I don't. I don't feel confident. No. Do you think the results of the finals would have changed had the match been a spit-swapping cage match? No. Actually, I think it would have been a 4-0 because I'm experienced in the spit-swapping cage match. I've refereed two, I think two, maybe just one, maybe we only done it once. But I've been there before. Tbling's never been there. He doesn't even know.
I don't really know too much about the lore of the spit-swapping cage match, but I think I'll yield to Joey.
Oh man, yeah. No further questions unless you pay $500 to see one. Is there anyone that you think you would have lost to in the finals had I played against them? Honestly, no. I don't think so. I think that I was playing really well. I think my play throughout the whole playoffs is really strong. Obviously, like, if it was anybody, the toughest opponent, I don't know. I really don't know because, like, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, Dennis is the toughest guy. But I kind of shit on Dennis. Like, I kind of shit on him. No offense to Dennis. Like, love the guy, but I did. It's how it went. So, like, otherwise, you got to think about it. There's Jason. There's Colin. I played Nick, so we get into that. There's Tyler. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Colin. Or Jason. I don't think Jason was playing very well these playoffs. So I think, like, on a normal day that me and Jason are both playing at, like, our normal level, we probably go 7 or maybe like 6, something like that. So probably maybe Jason. But Colin's an interesting one because I've only played him. I honestly, like, in like normal stars off baseball, I think I've only played Colin like twice, maybe 3 times, and now I've never lost to him. I think I've beaten him. I beat him all 3 times or 2 times, whatever it was. But I don't know. He's kind of a wild card because I don't really know. I don't know his style too well, and I think it was kind of like Tbling and Colin were the two that were kind of the most dangerous. But honestly, I think I said it. I would have preferred to play Colin over Tbling because historically Tom has beaten me more than he hasn't. So this is the first time that I've kind of had the upper hand. And again, it was still close. So I think realistically I would have beaten anybody. But I think if anyone was going to be closer, maybe Colin. But I think honestly Tom was probably the closest it was going to get. I think I was just that on. I think I was really locked in. So
Joey, quick follow-up to that. I know you've been kind of pretty humble in the past about who the best in the club, or who you think the best in the club is right now. But, this is your second championship. Dennis hasn't performed as well as he probably would like in the playoffs. And do you see yourself as the best right now, like in the club, or do you think Dennis is still slightly better than you at his peak?
Oh, that's so tough. That's tough because I haven't played Dennis a ton other than that one series, like lately at least.
You've you did pretty well in the NBA Cup too. So.
Yeah, I did well in NBA Cup. Not this second time around, but the first one I came in third, I think. I've been kind of slacking online. I haven't been playing as well. But also, I think after the World Series, I kind of was just like, this is what it was. This is what mattered to me. This is the premier thing for at least us guys in Dinger City. At least to me. Even though there's no money on the line, it's it's a lot of pride. It's a lot of eyes on it. The most eyes on any Mario baseball event. But do I think I'm better? I think that playing. All right. Here's what I'm gonna say. I think that if me and Dennis are both playing at our best, he's probably going to beat me 60% of the time. It's close, but he's probably going to beat me 6 out of 10 times. But on average, I'm going to beat him more than he's going to beat me, because I think that I'm more consistent. And I think that my base level is better than his, and I think that his lows are a lot lower than mine. So I would say that, I don't know if I could say I'm better, because I think at peak we're almost equal. I think it might be a little better, but I think on average I might be the best. I think it might be. Who's to say?
Like that answer. That's a good answer.
Yeah, it's a good way of me to not say that I'm just better and then get embarrassed next year. Well, Grump, first of all, I didn't skip your question about tech usage. You got timed out, so all your chats got deleted. But I'll get to it. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, I didn't skip it. I just answered the question before. Am I going to try to use Walu Tech homers in future playoff runs? No. Not real. I'm going to be honest with you. Unless I'm blowing someone out. If it's a blowout, yeah, I'll go for it. But I think his slap hit's just better. It's just better. You need to get perfect. I'm not going to get perfect more often than not. Maybe Tbling will, but I won't.
I definitely won't be going for that tech anytime soon.
Yeah. Look, regular season, I got you. Regular season games don't matter because, someone like me, someone like Tom, Jason, Dennis, whoever, we're gonna finish in the top 5, top 6, whatever, something like that. We're gonna finish in that upper level, even if we're not playing on 100%. Then once you get to playoffs, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a crapshoot once you get to playoffs because anything can happen. Anyone can win any game. You saw Jason went in as the 1 seed, Dennis went in as the 2 seed. We were 3 and 4, me and Tom. Jason got 3-0'd, Dennis got 3-0'd. And Jason by Colin, who I think was down at 7 or something like that. So, once you get to playoffs, anything can happen. So regular season, I'll go for it a bit. All right, no problem. Don't you worry. What do we got? What? All right, yeah, here we go. These are pretty cut and dry answers, I think. For each of us, which game do you consider the biggest upset of the whole World Series? Well, I think the biggest upset for me was when I was winning 5-2 going into the 9th inning, and then I lost 7-6. I gave up 5 runs in the 9th. I loaded the bases, got 1 run across, but I couldn't get the last run across to tie it. And I lost 7-6, but you know what? That's how it goes sometimes. But I think Tom, we've already talked about yours.
I think I would attribute Bowser getting some money from Lakitu, or I don't know.
Yeah, it was from me.
The Mario Baseball Mafia, yeah, from Joey, right? Yeah. So that probably, yeah, game 3, or I'm sorry, game 4, yeah, game 4, obviously. So,
yeah, but if we're talking playoffs overall, the biggest upset series. I
go Colin and Jason.
It had to be Colin and Jason, right?
Yeah, at least getting swept, that's pretty shock. I don't think anyone saw that coming. So
no, that was the bracket buster for sure. Everyone had Jason in semis at least. Most people had him in the World Series. A handful of people even had him winning the whole thing. So yeah, Jason getting 3-0'd. I mean, he wasn't on that day, I guess. And Colin was playing nice. It wasn't, it really wasn't that close either. They weren't blowouts by any means, but it really felt like Colin was in the driver's seat for that entire series. So that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, I know Jason's not happy about it. Yeah, I mean, he's over it now. It's been a while for us personally. But yeah, no, I mean that had to be it. You could say me over Dennis, but again, that's just 2-3 seed. As far as seedings go, that's only 1 seed. And yes, again, it was a 3-0, but I think that one was less jarring than Colin and Jason for sure. I think it would have been a big one had Tyler ended up beating you, because Tyler went up 2-1, and everyone was like, "Oh, shit, Tyler's looking pretty nice." Tbling's the 4 seed. Sure, Tyler's, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there, but that would have been big. But you clutched up, and you got back in there.
Yeah, I had some clutch 9th innings against you, the 2 games in a row against Tyler, and just proud of that, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. You just got to win those games.
Yeah, you can never count yourself out. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
You went down 2-1 rather. You know, you rally, you beat him in a close game 4, and then you kind of crushed him in game 5. And then, I mean, a lot of the newer viewers probably don't remember this, but if anyone remembers back to my first World Series run in Season 7, 2 seasons ago, I was playing Gil. And Gil, again, not someone that's around a lot anymore, so you guys probably don't even know him, really. But I was playing Gil, who was considered, you know, number 2 after Dennis, in semifinals, and he went up 2-0 over me, you know, to best of 5, and then I reverse swept him. I clutched up. We had a really close game 3. I kind of took control in game 4, and then I crushed him in game 5. So it was like, you know, you can never count yourself out. You just gotta have confidence. You gotta stick with it. Anything can happen in games like this, and that's just how it goes. So yeah, that's Mario Baseball for you.
Yeah, and playing in that basement in a best of 7 World Series, it's a total mental game. You just got to stay locked in. You know, channel out the noise and just like play your game. You know,
oh yeah, we had a crowd, man.
Yeah, the chanting was incredible. Yeah. Commentating was great. You know, I loved it. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The atmosphere was very fun. But yeah, you got to lock in, and I felt like for the most part we were both pretty locked in.
Both did a really good job of that. Yeah.
I feel like our mentalities were both pretty strong for the whole series. Like I said before, even after that game 4 where you know, you got kind of screwed out of the final out. You know, we came back in game 5 and you played a close one, so it's not like it was ever over, at least mentally. Mr. Joe, will you go back to back? I don't know. We'll see. I would love to. I'd love to do it. Never been a back-to-back. Never been a 3-time. You know, 3 times in 4 seasons would be great. I'd love to do that. But there's going to be... I mean, the competition's not getting any easier, man. I mean, like season 8, we added Tom. And we had Peacock Slayer there as well. Little Cokes. And actually, Cokes has been playing very well. And we'll probably be seeing him in... Season 10, I would imagine. So season 10, you know, I assume Tom will be back for it. You know, we're gonna have with Colin now. Colin just got added this season. He's a big threat, and he was added late. So like he hasn't had his full season of kind of adjusting and playing everybody all the time, because like when you play everyone all the time, you kind of get a feel for how they're playing. But when you kind of just come in like fresh, maybe 3/4, 2/3 of the way through the season, you're in a bit of a tough spot trying to adjust. So it'll be interesting. Season 10 is probably going to be the toughest one yet, but I think I can do it. I know I can do it. We'll just see if that's how it goes. You know, the playoffs, again, anything can happen once you get there. So we'll see. Biggest upset of the playoffs, Lexer said. Yeah, so we got to you on that. What do we got here? For next season, what players are you hoping to take? I mean, it's probably not going to change much. We're probably going to draft the same characters, honestly. I don't think there's going to be... I mean, maybe Monty Mole gets shown more. Maybe I'll play some more Monty. Probably not a ton. But I think Monty will become a fringe pick, kind of with, like, Dry Bones. I think he'll kind of be like that Dry Bones level of... You never need him. You know, you're never going to need this character. But if you like him, take him. You know, he's not hurting you. He's all right.
Yeah, for me, I definitely would say Pink Menace or Pianta. Definitely want to hit as many dingers as possible with him. I love that shirt. I forget who... Is it Riley Scott that has the Pink Menace shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sick shirt. I love that. But yeah, I think I might have to get myself one of those.
Yeah, that, I mean, look, Riley's got great merch. Check out Riley Scott 64 on YouTube, like we said before. That's 2 shout-outs for Riley in this stream already. Unbelievable. He's not even here. Krazzy says, Tbling, what is your response to the cheating allegations waged against Joey after the bobble and other accusations of auto-batting?
Hey, listen, Cokes was in the audience. I don't want to say that, maybe there was some special gecko codes increasing the bobbling rates of Bowser, but Joey didn't use the auto dinger gecko code, so can't complain too much.
Yeah.
But listen, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Bowser, hit a dinger, plenty of dingers this playoffs for me, so I can't complain.
Yeah, all I have to say is that the commissioner made his report. The investigation was done, and commissioner made his report. What can I say? I mean, nothing came up. Don't worry about it. I can Okay, so they're asking, can either of you say my name? I did skip it twice because I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm gonna go with Palaya Becknell, or yeah, Palaya Becknell. That's all I'm gonna say. Am I right? Am I wrong? Who knows? Jai says, question for both of you: why are you so handsome? That's how it goes. Can't help it. Because if you're good at Mario Baseball, you're also extremely, extremely beautiful. And that's just how it goes. Check out all the guys in Dinger City. We're good at Mario Baseball, and we're a bunch of hotties.
Here we have a sexy calendar coming out.
Oh my god, true. What a great plug. I totally went over my head. Dinger City Sexy Calendar dropping soon. The pre-orders are up now. You got till the end of the month to pre-order. I would love if somebody sent a link in chat. But if no one does it, I will do it myself. Actually, we're not going to send a link, but go to the Discord, and also it's just on Dinger City's page. Like, if you go to the community tab, Dinger City Sexy Calendar, you can go to pre-order. I said it right, by the way, the name. But you can go to pre-order the Sexy Calendar. It's got everybody in Dinger City, I think, for the most part. Me and Tom are in there. Dennis, there's some spoiler pictures out. 13 different pictures, 12 months, and a cover photo. It's they're right there. The Google form is the pre-order form, the one that Birdman just sent. So yeah, if you check it out, those should be shipping out in the next month or so. So you should have them by the new year, and it's gonna be awesome. Let's see, what do we got here? Tbling, are you more of a stars on guy or a stars off guy, or other game modes? Big Balla, UU stuff like that.
Yeah, these days definitely stars off. Although I gotta say, I was watching Baltor's stream today of the netplay league all-star game, and I don't know, it kind of made me think. Like, I think I should dabble a little bit more with stars on. Some of the top players are saying that it's harder, and it probably is maybe the case. You got to react a little quicker, but for me, I love the challenge of playing classic old school Mario Baseball. Stars off and just try to be the best you can be. So for right now, it's stars off.
I'm also a stars off guy. I like stars off more. I think stars on's fun. I enjoy both modes. I like Big Balla a lot too. That's stars on, super stars on, star skills off. So no star hits and star pitches. I'm still a stars off guy. That's what we play all the time. It's what we like playing. Stars on's very fun though. You Stars On kids will like this. I've been pushing for Dinger City Stars On for a long time. Stars On Dinger City Classic. Not next Dinger City Classic 3 is not Stars On, but Dinger City Classic 4. Stars On Classic. So I'm telling you now, guaranteed Stars On for Dinger City Classic 4. So yeah, I've been trying. I like Stars On. I think Stars On Classic is a little better. I think it's a little better because the bad characters can still do some things. While in normal Classic, your bad characters are just so bad. They're so terrible.
Yeah, by the midway point of the season, you're usually dreading half the characters on your team, or at least a few of them, right? So yeah, I think that's a great idea. Absolutely.
Tbling, how much did the transition between netplay and LAN affect your World Series?
So it's a great question. I think the biggest difference between netplay and LAN is the pitching. So on netplay, the batter has priority with Rio, but in person you can basically move the ball a little bit more than you can on netplay. So hitting the corners becomes a lot more fluid and easier. So I think you're batting. in person is going to be a little bit worse, just because you can't, you're going to have to react quicker to those pitches. You have to be more disciplined. You can't be swinging at balls. And I think for me personally, like last season, I had a big problem with playing off of balls, and I'm still not perfect at it, but I've gotten a lot better. So that was probably the main thing, is just not being able to. You have to be more disciplined off the plate, right? Coming into land games, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And I think kind of for me, it's like the opposite, where like I play on LAN all the time. So when I'm playing online, my pitching's so much worse. And it's why I usually don't play that well in like the online tournaments, at least anymore, because I play a lot on offline and I don't play a lot online. It's definitely an adjustment. It's tough. Also, Joe Brady throwing a little shade at you. What's the plan to improve your base running moving forward? Ooh, I think thinking back to that one play in, I think Game 5 was it, right? Where you got double played on the bases when you had at least one runner safe at third guaranteed.
Yeah, that was just pathetic, honestly. So I appreciate
that was tough.
Criticism over here. Yeah, so listen, I mean, it comes down to just using the control stick to control one runner at a time. In practice mode, you can work on that. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. It just takes time to spend time getting better at that, right? So
it's tough too.
Yeah, and another thing I want to do is like with certain characters, like for example, I was stealing with Yoshi, I think in Game 5, against the Pianta catcher, I believe, and like I remember the commentators, Jason and Dennis, I think, were like saying like I would have made it, and I think I would have. I perfect yellow stealed it. I just didn't commit. Went back early. So I think I would like to learn or see like a table of like when to steal against certain catchers. Like for example, with PD, you're probably not going to be stealing against, but maybe other catchers you can consistently get on with Yoshi like every time,
Yeah, and I think another thing that contributes to that is the pitcher, because Boo pitches fast. He's got a quick release. The ball goes fast. But the monkeys, Dixie and Diddy, they pitch. I'm unfocused again. They pitch pretty slow. So kind of like you can afford to have a weaker catcher with Boo than you can with the monkeys and stuff. So like if it's kind of like Dixie to Pianta or Dixie to Bowser or something like that, you can get away with a lot more than you can with Dixie and PD or Boo and PD. Boo and PD is almost impossible to steal against. And I believe there's actually different timings on perfect steals as well. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think I've heard that you can enter like a few different frames, or you can perfect steal in a few different frames. So like, yeah, we have to like probably look into that a little bit more. But either way, I'll get better for next season. That's all I can say.
That's all you can do, right?
Yep.
All right. Grump asked if I've managed to quash the hecklers. No, bring more hecklers on. I don't care. Joe Brady says, Mr. Joe, strong World Series all around. What do you think your weakest facet in your World Series? Pitching, batting, draft lines, things like that. Well, first of all, I think my draft lines were the best they've ever been. Not just specifically in the World Series, I think in the playoffs overall. If you watch me and Dennis, I drafted Magikoopa really early, and I think that was actually really good for me. And I think my pitching was potentially the best it's been ever throughout this playoffs. I mean, against Dennis, I gave up 3 runs in 3 games, and one of them was a shutout, and one of them was a Bowser leadoff home run in Game 1. So I went 8.2 innings in Game 1 without giving him a run, and then a full 9 innings in Game 2 without giving up a run. So I think my pitching was really, really strong. It was pretty good against Tom, too, except for the 2 kind of tough 9th innings that I had. But I think my weakest thing was just batting. I think, and it's weird for me because, when I'm on with batting, I feel like I will literally hit every single thing in the world. Like, I feel like I crush everything. But sometimes I chase a little too much, and that's kind of always been my issue. I just chase the ball a little too much. And I kind of work on it sometimes, but that's historically been my biggest issue. But it didn't cost me because I pitched well, and when I got my pitches that I liked, I made good use of them. I made something happen. I didn't miss the mistakes. So that's the biggest thing, I think. If you don't miss the mistakes the pitcher makes, then you're probably gonna win. How about you, Tom? How do you feel? What do you think your strongest and weakest points were?
Strongest probably pitching. I feel like I was pretty.
Yeah.
I feel like I was controlling the pacing of that. Like, I feel like I was in your head a little bit, like pitching third, third pitch strikes, like, right over the corner, the outside corner. So I feel like I did a good job of handling that. Probably would have pitched, like not pitch to Bowser, pitch close, like pitch better to Bro. Um, Personally, though, I think for me, like one obvious thing that I can work on was like my batting lineups. Like I was talking to Matty Ice about them and stacking my heavies. I think I hit like a few different back-to-back home runs throughout
Yeah.
the series. And if I had a slap hitter in between them, I probably would have put up a few more runs, and like that might have been the difference of a few games. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm gonna try to pay closer attention to um, structure my lineups a little bit differently, like not stacking heavies. And then the second big thing is using my stars more wisely. So, like, I think a
Oh
big
yeah.
theme for me was either swinging through star hits or using them in instances where that wouldn't have driven in runs. So I think I need to kind of, I forget who said this, but I think someone put this rule out there that like you can think of one star as like one run. And I don't know if I'd go that far, but like I think I need to start having more of that mindset to like conserve stars, and hopefully like those two things will make me a better player.
Yeah. I think of it as like if you get 3 runs off a full star gauge, that's pretty good. And usually you'll get more if you like use them all efficiently. But like thinking back, I remember there was that one at bat with Paratroop. I think it was Game 5 where you used like 3 stars. You fouled off 2 pitches, and then the third one you hit right at Magikoopa. That's tough. I kind of like with Magikoopa especially, like hitting, like you did it with Paratroopa, but like with Mag hitting, I'll like try to use the star of the first swing, but if I miss, I'll just go to the slap hit because I'm like slap hit's good. I can produce with it, and I don't want to waste all my stars in a character where I don't need the stars. But I did feel like I was kind of in control of the stars for almost the entire series. I always felt like I had more stars than you did. I think my star usage is pretty strong personally. I think I'm good at budgeting. I'm good at not overusing them, at knowing when to use them, when not to. I think it's a bit of an underrated skill. I think it's definitely something that more people can get a bit better at.
I think you guys, everyone in Dinger City does a really good job of
Yeah.
using stars, I gotta say. So
Yeah, some people hold them a bit too long, Dennis. but ultimately, it's better to have them than not have them. Can we get some Bowser giveth, Bowser taketh away merch? I don't know about that, but we do have an idea for a Murderer's Row piece of merch. Someone had said it during one of our streams. I think during the 24-hour live stream, where it's just like Murderer's Row and it's like Bowser, Petey, Bro, and KB. So that, it's an idea that we've been toying with. We got a few more minutes here. We're gonna wrap up a couple minutes before 8, probably like 5 minutes from now. So I'm gonna try to get in a couple more questions. We'll try to speed it up a little bit. Pierre Lowell says, Mr. Joe, statistics have shown that the player who picks the Toad Brigade in the preceding Classic goes on to win the World Series. Does this fact change your picking for the next Classic? Well, you're not wrong. And no, it doesn't change it. I will be drafting... I was doing the Toad Brigade anyway, baby. That's not a guarantee. I take that back. I'm not actually going to do the Toad Brigade unless it comes to me, like, naturally. Unless I don't want to force it, Like, sometimes it's time to pass on the mantle, You got to let someone else have it. All right, let's try to burn through some more questions. Has there been any discussion or opinion on banning Bowser for good? Short answer, no. And I don't think we should. What about you?
yeah, I think we need to keep him as a playable character. He's a lot of fun to play with. More dingers. It's going to be,
Yep.
more fun for everyone. So I don't think we should consider that.
No, we've actually done it before. We played no Bowser for a couple weeks. Didn't like it. It wasn't fun. Which character surprised you the most throughout the season, and who let you down the most? Surprised me the most, probably Pianta, just because kind of we discovered Falcon Pop during the season, and then we discovered that Lefty Pianta is better during the season. So, it was a bit of back and forth, and he performed really well in the World Series, so I'd say Pianta. You got anything on that, Tbling?
Yeah, I think, like you said, that's a great point. We learned about the Falcon Pop. We learned about the bat lefty differences. That's like a ton of discoveries this season alone, thanks to the modders. As far as characters goes, Pianta Pink Menace probably as well. I think, he emerges a consistent threat, in the top 15 characters for sure. So yeah, I'll keep him there as well. Probably Waluigi is too.
Yeah.
Emerging as a very consistent third baseman. Great bat, and kind of no reason to let him fall down like lower where he, thinking back to previous seasons, he wouldn't even get picked, right?
Yeah, no, it was crazy because he was kind of number 4 on the tier list at first, like way back when, and then he plummeted, and now he's back up to like top 12. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Brian asks if we think Andrew's the least consistent player in the club. Yeah, definitely. It's and I think it's kind of just like if he wants to win, he's usually gonna win, but he usually is not fully in it. It's just how it goes. I think Tyler's a little inconsistent as well. When he's playing well, he's very, very good, but usually his normal is not as high as like the top players, but his highs are up there. So like when he's playing on, he can kind of beat anyone, but like if everyone's playing normally, he's probably gonna just be like an average player. He's still good though. He's very good because he does heat up from time to time. Let's see. Tbling, if you had won, would you have bought more bling and evolved into Tblingier?
I love it. The Milkman Tblingier. That next, maybe after I win one, hopefully. I'll definitely have to get more bling. I appreciate that, Playa.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we'll do 2 more questions. A personal question. I'll answer this one. Now that Dinger City's getting a little big, how are you balancing the club, work, other hobbies, and personal relationships? It's all Dinger City, baby. That's what it's all about. No, it's a little tough because you work a full work week. You got friends that you want to hang out with. Luckily, a lot of my friends are just the guys in Dinger City. Obviously, like we all and the rest of them kind of just live at the house that we record at. So a lot of my friends are kind of there, but it does get it definitely gets stressful. It gets a little tiring. We're luckily in a spot right now where we have a backlog of content that will get us through basically the rest of the year. We'll still be doing streams and stuff, but it's been nice to kind of have a bit of a break. But it does get a little stressful, but it's really rewarding. It's really very rewarding, and Nick especially puts a ton of time into this, but all the guys do a ton of work for this, and we're having a really good time doing it. So while it is a lot at times, it is so worth it.
Listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I take the train into Long Island from New York, and playing in person is a lot of fun with these guys. It's definitely worth it. But obviously it's a juggle with everything else. So
yeah. And big ups to you. You're coming out an hour and a half plus every time. It's just 2 hours even. So really cool that you're able to do that though, man. Like we really appreciate you having it out for that. Yo, what's up, Riley in chat? Hell yeah. We shouted you out twice. We dropped we dropped some merch promos for you. All right, one last question.
Noki at second base, shortstop.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's a question. Have you talked about shortstop, second base, and Noki? It's fine. I would imagine it's pretty good. But I think Noki's probably better utilized elsewhere.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer Noki in left field. But I think someone in the Discord was doing research on dive distances, and I'd be curious to see how Noki stacks up there. But Noki, if you can get that jump input at the infield, pretty solid backup for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that's unfortunately all the time that we have for you guys today. We're going to be getting right into the Dinger City Triple Play Draft Premiere, so it's going to redirect right to that. If it doesn't, you can go ahead and go to Dinger City, and it'll be launching right there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, for asking all your questions. We really appreciate it. I think it's a fun little thing to do after the World Series. Tom, thanks for joining me today. Really appreciate you taking the time for it. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Joey, congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. All right.
Dinger City out.
Dinger City out, baby. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out Triple Play.